everybody? It's your boy Chris Campbell, and this is Jacksonian Hype. Today on Jacksonian Hype, we bring to you the hype about hip-hop. Today we have a panel discussion on hip-hop in Obama's Tea Party era. Hip-hop is something that's forever criticized, and there's so much controversy behind it that we want to get some in-depth ideas on the matter. Now, in today's generation, we praise hip-hop, we love hip-hop, so let's see how it's supported and see how it's not supported in today's panel discussion. I'm Chris Campbell, and this is Jacksonian Hype.
We're talking about the health like it is written by a black person. It is not written by a black person. It is not our story being told by us. It is written by a white woman who fictionalizes our story and then tells us that it is about us. I find that really problematic and an important distinction to make. So that's not really a discussion to me about whether or not we should tell our stories. If a black woman was writing a story, I am a first-generation immigrant. I was born in Jamaica. My mother came here in 1968 on a domestics program. I know that is my story. I sat in New Rochelle as my mother cleaned white people's houses. I have no illusions about that. If we were telling the story from the perspective of the black women, from any black person whose history this belonged to, I would have no problem with the help. But I'm not going to sit here and have us pretend that this is a discussion about which stories about ourselves we should tell when we're not writing this particular story. It's the same reason that Vanessa Satin being held, a white woman being held the head of a hip-hop magazine that is still trafficking in images predominantly of black and Latino people, and then feel like she should have no accountability about how our children are being spoken to. This is not her history that she is playing with.
We talked about the health. Has anybody seen this movie? Can we just have show of hands who saw it? And I want to ask if anybody in the audience liked the film. And I'm not saying if anybody liked. Okay. One thing that I wanted to so I wanted to just mention something that I found pretty interesting. I appreciated some of the performances in the film, and I think those performances are really, as John said, I want those women to win. You know, I think there are so few opportunities for people, particularly women of color, to be seen on screen and to really do their thing. And so I'm deeply supportive of that aspect of it. But as Joan says, I think the question of who tells the story, and also how Melissa Harris Perry said that basically what the film does is reduces Jim Crow to a cat fight. And I think that's a very accurate description of what happens in this film. And I think it's incredibly problematic to see this young white character as a hero, as a heroine, completely saving a community that clearly had some ideas about how to save itself, and actually, you know. So that's one thing, but I did want to mention that my family background, I have...
The one that I hate the most was the Jezebel stereotype. I hate the Jezebel stereotype because basically the Jezebel stereotype was created to condone the raping of black women, because it basically posits that black women are always hypersexual, they're always ready to have sex, they're always carnal, and there's this TV show called The Misfits, that's a BBC show that actually has a woman who basically, her superpower, as she said about superpowers, the kids with superpowers, is that if you touch her, you're forced to have sex with her. Now the rest of these people have like regular powers, like invisibility, you know, but for some reason, you know, immortality, but for some reason this woman, you know, you touch her, and actually when you after you have sex with her, you forget afterwards, so it's her fault that you had sex with her. So it's like it's condoning again, you know, this particular type of
What's good, everybody? It's Chris Campbell again with Jacksonian Hype. We have Talib Kweli with us today. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How you feeling?
I'm good, man.
All right.
I have a couple of questions for you. Just in general, what are your views on hip-hop in today's society, period?
That's an easy one. I love hip-hop. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from loving hip-hop, so that's how I feel about it.
One of the things that we promote on Jackson State campus is voting. You know, it's very important to vote. Do you think that hip-hop is playing its positive role in promoting the black vote in today's society?
I would say it's more important, way more important, to take a stand. It's way more important to have an opinion and to know and have information. I think having information is way more important than voting. I think telling people to vote blindly, just vote. Just make sure you get out there and vote no matter what, as if that's a positive thing. I don't agree with that. I think you need to vote based on a candidate, vote based on an issue, vote based on, let your vote actually mean something, because the way the electoral college is set up, it's not set up to count your vote. You know what I'm saying? The voting system in this country, no matter what your intention might be to tell people to vote, the voting system in this country is flawed. So if you're going to vote, it's got to be organized. You know, it's not just, well, just go out and vote. It should be, start with an idea first.
Yes, sir. Now, do you think that today's youth look too far in depth into the hip-hop community for guidance of who they are individually and things such as that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think that's exclusive to hip-hop. I think people are going to idolize artists, whether it's hip-hop or whether it's music from the 70s. But I do think that that's dangerous, and that we need to realize that artists are followers, and artists are going to follow the lead of the community. Same as politicians, they're going to follow the lead of the community. So I would invest that time in the community.
All right, man, I know you're pretty busy. I appreciate the interview. Thank you so much for your time here.
Thank you, bro.
We appreciate you coming to Jackson State University.
Thank you.
There you have it, people. What's good, everybody? We're back, and we're getting a couple of student responses to see exactly what are their views on hip-hop. So who do we have with us today?
Jonathan A. Ross, sir.
Just tell us, what are your views on hip-hop in today's society?
My views on hip-hop in today's society is that artists are not putting their heart and their soul in the music. They're just making music to sell and make money.
We have Heather McTeer with us today, first African-American female mayor of Greenville, Mississippi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, and it's always a pleasure and a blessing to be here at Jackson State University.
That's wonderful. So we hear you running for Congress.
Yes.
What inspired you to run for Congress, first off?
Well, when I look around the 2nd Congressional District, I see so many places where we need to have improvement, and certainly it can come from the congressional level. I saw a lot of things that weren't being done, and very similar to my own hometown of Greenville, Mississippi. When I ran for mayor of Greenville, Mississippi, there were a lot of needs that were going and had not been met, and here I see the same thing. So I couldn't just sit on the sidelines and be complacent with things as they are. To do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, we know is insanity, and I know we're not crazy. So I decided that I could best serve the people in my community and the constituents of the 2nd Congressional District by running for office.
That sounds like a very good reason to run. So what exactly is your game plan behind running to, you know, get that out to the people and let them know that that's something that really needs to be implemented in today's society, and you need to be the person to do it?
Absolutely. We're doing what we do right now here at Jackson State. We're here meeting people, talking to the voters and constituents, and we've been doing that all across the district. So, you know, the key to winning is to get more votes than the other person.
Exactly.
And the way you do that is we're going out and we're touching folks where they are. So we've been in homes, in beauty shops, barber shops. We've been in community centers, churches, and everywhere we're getting the same thing, the same feedback. People know that it's time. They recognize that we can no longer afford to lag behind in education, in health and wellness, and in infrastructure. And they can see that not only the experience I bring, because as a mayor, I served my community during one of the roughest times that this nation has ever seen, but we were able to do some remarkable things. And so they see that experience, they see my passion, and certainly my energy and leadership, and they're saying, yeah, Heather, we know that you're the one to lead this district, and we're going to vote for you.
That's great. Now, we just left the panel discussion on hip-hop. Tell us, what are your views on hip-hop in today's society?
I come from a hip-hop generation. I'm 36 years old.
Yes.
So a lot of the music that we consider hip-hop and even that we're hearing today is music that I came up on when I was in college and in high school. What is astounding and even exciting, though, is that as a part of that generation, I understand the need